know, nonstop Vikings talk. It's Purple Daily on Score North and ScoreNorth.com. Purple Daily, presented by Surly Brewing Company.
Dalvin Cook, touchdown run, I formation behind the fullback, C.J. Ham. All right? And right here, C.J. Ham gets a great block on the outside linebacker. And Dalvin puts that left foot in the ground and does the Dalvin waltz.
Yes.
Baldy.
Brian Baldinger doesn't just like football, he loves football.
the Dalvin waltz. Oh, yes.
Baldy. Could watch it all day.
Yes.
We have another one, don't we? We play the other one, too.
I'll get there. It's not loaded in.
Okay, we'll play it later. We'll play it later. Or how about this? We have another one. If you want to see more Baldy breaking down the Vikings, Mackie and Judd, Wednesday episode. Check it out.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Maybe Dex will find it for later show too. Okay, here we go.
Watch this Jamar Chase go to work. He's a router. I'm Rashad Breeland. Watch this double move right here. Bam, 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 bam. And ball's right there. Right there. Tiny. Beautiful stuff.
Yes.
Can I make an observation about that? Great breakdown right there. I don't think it's a good thing when a guy who's playing in his first game, no matter how good, puts a double move on a veteran cornerback you just signed, and he completely bites on it.
Well, you could say his first game, he's also like one of the most highly touted wide receivers in recent draft history against a borderline starting cornerback.
I just like my cornerback to sort of hang with him a little bit better, okay?
All right, that's fair enough. So this is Purple Daily Vikings entertainment. We just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die. Phil Mackey, Judd Zulgad, executive producer, Declan Goff. The show is presented by Surly Brewing Company, and if you're watching us on a TCL TV, we greatly appreciate it because TCL is one of the world's best-selling consumer electronics brands, and they are delivering the most entertainment with stunning resolution at an affordable cost. Enjoy more of the things you love with TCL. Football. All right. Let's hit it, Dex.
Most make predictions and then never admit they're wrong. Yeah, that's not Mackie and Judd. This is the place where we just totally own our horrible predictions.
Write this down.
And eat them for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Write that down.
It's Write That Down.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
With Mackie and Judd.
Yep. This is where we admit that we are wrong every single week. You guys act like you know everything. When are you going to admit that you were wrong,
Come on, Mackie.
Come on, Declan, you idiot.
You don't know anything about quarterbacks.
I'll take a pass on this episode since you never admit you're wrong.
We do every Wednesday on both Mackie and Judd and Purple Daily. Here's how Write That Down works on Purple Daily. 3 Vikings or football or show-related predictions from everybody each week. They must be quantifiable. We keep track of completion percentage and touchdowns. And listeners, if you want to be part of the show and be a guest listener predictor, you can send us a message through the Score North app, which is free to download. Sean is going to be our guest listener predictor here in just a couple of minutes. But boys, we have a lot to get to in the accountability session. Okay, it's week one. Boy. We got predictions flying off the board here for week one. It's a log jam for the completion percentage title. I've got a pretty much a stranglehold on the touchdown race because you guys are check down Charlies, and that's fine.
Hey, easy there.
Let's start with Judd.
Oh, no.
Look at Judd. Look at Judd here, okay? You said Brian. Look at this. Can you see this? Can you see this?
Yes.
Wow.
Okay.
I just saw it.
So you said you got a lot of things here. Brian O'Neill will sign a 5-year extension before week one. Now, sometimes I feel like reporter Judd will sneak information in that's not speculative. I feel like Judd knew this beforehand.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to say.
Present your case.
If I had said just an extension, I'd be like, yeah, that's. I had no idea. I guessed at 5 years. I feel like it's darn near a touchdown, boys.
Personally,
I don't think
this is a touchdown.
Is it?
I think this is a touchdown. He gave the 5-year extension and the specific.
And
I think this is a touchdown.
And there was no reporter Judd behind the 5-year extension.
Okay.
So like we all sort of knew the extension.
It's very
coming,
specific.
But when I said 5 years, I appreciate that, Dex. Thank you very much, Sports Son.
Listen, because I'll be honest, the only reason why I didn't give you a touchdown is because I thought you were doing this based off intel.
No, I know intel on the years.
And just so you know, actually, I did mark you down with a touchdown because I thought this would be a discussion. So I did in the You will see a touchdown added to your name at the end.
Look at that.
Okay.
In progress updates
All
on
right.
graphics now on Write That Down, Purple Daily.
Oh, yeah. These are revolutionary graphics right now you're seeing on Purple Daily. All right. You said the Vikings' primary backup quarterback to Cousins in week 1 will not be Browning or Mond. It was at the very last minute. It was Sean Mannion. You said Rashad Hill will start at left tackle for the Vikings in week 1, and Mike Zimmer will lose his first challenge of the season.
Oh, I caught a break there.
That was the Jefferson play that he challenged, right?
Which should have been a touchdown, but
yeah. You said Deshaun Watson won't play in week 1 of the NFL regular season, and Dakota Dozier will not be the Vikings starting left guard for the 2021 opener. Both of those were correct. However, you did say Wyatt Davis would be a starting guard for the Vikings by week 1.
Okay.
And you said Danielle Hunter would have 2 or more sacks against the Bengals, and that Dalvin would run for 100 or more and at least a touchdown. So, wait. Oh, no, there's more.
God.
Oh, no, there's more.
it was a rope-a-dope.
Oh, no,
you rope-a-dope me, you son of a...
Oh,
Wow,
what's this
dude.
page of red here? Oh, I'm sorry.
my God.
Wow.
Here's page
my
2.
God.
Judd
I
said.
gotta go. I'll see you guys later.
Oh, man. Judd said the Vikings will open the season with a win against Cincinnati, and they will be 2-1 through 3 games. You said the Vikings will claim a defensive end off waivers after the final cuts. They did not. You said week 1 parlay, Vikings beat Bengals, and Jefferson will catch a touchdown. Dalvin will rush for a touchdown. You said the Vikings' backup quarterback will never have played a game in the NFL regular season.
But the week 1 parlay, if the challenge had gone Zim's way, I
you
would
would've
have
nailed it.
Parlay, and then I would have got another touchdown.
That's football.
That's football, baby.
No, I know.
Yeah.
You said Jefferson will catch a touchdown pass of 30 yards in the first quarter of the regular season opener. Deshaun Watson won't be with Houston when the season starts. He is. He just didn't play. And OBJ won't be with the Browns when the season starts. He is. He was just injured.
Wow.
All of those.
That was you set me up nicely there, by the way. I really do appreciate that.
All right. Well, it was equally bad for me.
Oof.
All right.
Oof.
I said we would get Chris Myers and Moose again in week 2. We get Gus Johnson, baby, and Aqib Talib. Little Gusgasm. Little Gusgasm. Ooh. I said Kirk Cousins would be credited with a fourth quarter comeback or game-winning drive against the Bengals. So people are wondering, well, he brought them back and tied the game in the fourth, but to be credited with a fourth quarter comeback, you have to eventually win the game, and they didn't. So it's wrong. I said the Vikings would score at least a touchdown on a 30-yard pass or longer against the Chiefs. I missed that one in the preseason. That didn't happen. Vikings will run a flea flicker in week 1. They ran a reverse pass. Oh,
I love
doesn't count, right? Because a flea flicker has to go back to the quarterback.
Yeah,
that is correct.
Yeah, it's then unfortunate.
Sorry, dude.
I am too.
I feel like my radar was honed there. I knew they were going to run a trick play.
It's okay.
No. I said Greg Joseph would miss at least 2 PATs in the preseason and or week 1.
Oh, you have little faith.
Man.
Oh.
Why are you so down on Greg Joseph? He was fantastic.
And then I said the Vikings' week 1 offensive line would be Christian Darrisaw at left tackle, Ezra Cleveland, Wyatt Davis, Garrett Bradbury, and Brian O'Neill. I did redeem myself by saying Dalvin Cook would score a touchdown before Alex Madison, which was just to negate one of Declan's predictions.
Yeah, that was me. Yeah,
at one
good
point.
For you.
I just wanted a free
Out
check
of spite.
down.
Yeah, no, we do that too and write that down.
Spite shop.
Hey,
right. Listeners here. All right. So John, I think this is a touchdown. John said Danielle Hunter will get a new contract by week 1. He will start week 1, and he will have at least 1 sack. That's a 3-item parlay, which usually 3-item parlay, usually it's going to be a home run, so we'll give him a home run. Or a touchdown. Sorry. I'm getting my sports mixed up here. Kyle said, in the Saints-Packers game, Aaron Rodgers will not take the first snap. And I remember when Kyle made this prediction, we said, are you saying he will not be the Packers quarterback? He said, no. I'm saying Rodgers will not take the first snap of the game as a quarterback in the game, meaning he explained it too. He said, meaning if the Saints get the first offensive possession,
Oh, yeah.
He wanted the technicality loophole to be open.
Good for him.
For a backdoor cover here. The Saints did indeed get the first offensive possession, and Jameis Winston took the first one.
Nice. Playing the system right there.
That's playing the game. It's all about the game and how you play it. And then Tyler said the Vikings have 10 current players on the roster who have made the Pro Bowl. This is back in the offseason. But at least 3 of them will not be on the roster for the 2021 season. So I combed through their roster last night. Rudolph and Bailey are gone. They are former Pro Bowlers. I could only find 9, and the 10th one was Unique Ngakoue on last year's team, but he was gone before this prediction was made. So again, Tyler, find me if I'm wrong on this, but I could only find 2, and we're not counting Unique Ngakoue because he was gone by the time you made this prediction.
Okay.
Here's the bad news for the listeners. There's more.
Good Lord.
A lot more. All right, all of these are wrong. Pulford Skoll said the first play of the Vikings 2021 season on offense will be a pass to Adam Thielen. It was to Dalvin Cook. Actually, it was a false start, then a pass to Dalvin Cook, then a false start, and then another false start. Pulford Skoll also said at least one day one starting offensive lineman is currently not with the Vikings as of April 14th. This is a terrible beat because they drafted Christian Darrisaw and Wyatt Davis after April 14th, but neither of those guys made the start. All 5 of the Vikings starting offensive linemen were on the team prior to 2021. So that prediction is wrong. Hunter said Breeland will have a pick in week 1. Ash said Chad Beebe will be the 3rd wide receiver and will get 700-plus yards and 7 touchdowns this year, which won't happen. Aaron said Dalvin will score the first touchdown of the year for the Vikings. It was Thielen. Lawyer Chase said the Vikings will beat the Bengals. Kyle said the Vikings will win the coin toss. And Ryan said Larry Fitzgerald will not be on the Vikings opening day roster as part of a parlay that also included Smith Marset as the 3rd wide receiver in week 1. All of those are wrong.
This is an incredible bloodletting.
That's going to derail the completion percentage.
This is a bloodletting.
I just want the listeners to know, like, this is fun banter back and forth. You know, you guys are wrong about this. Just why don't you look in the mirror, okay?
Is there more?
Why don't you guys look in the mirror? Well, there's Declan. So Declan, some nice little predictions here. You said Jefferson, Thielen will combine for at least 150 yards and at least 2 touchdowns. So we gave you last week the green light for this to be, I mean, it's correct.
Yeah.
Last week we said, all right, this is pretty borderline because those guys are probably going to go for 150. But the 2 touchdowns, I think it's a touchdown. It's like a quarterback sneak from the 1 yard line, but I think it's a touchdown.
Sure. I think because I said 2. It has multiple touchdowns. Like if I just said the yards, that's an easy completion. But I think with the touchdowns, it adds. And I was close to it, by the way. I wasn't until overtime this hit because I was tracking.
Yep. Okay. I mean, like there could have been a scenario where Thielen gets 90 yards and Jefferson gets 55, and they scored. Like you know, it's so we'll give it to you. You said the Vikings will sign a quarterback from the time the rosters are cut to 53 to week 1. They did. They signed Sean Mannion. And you said Brian O'Neill will get at least $40 million guaranteed on his next contract. He got more than that, right? However, you said Mannion will not be the Vikings' active backup week 1, and Harrison Smith's next contract will be worth up to a reported $20 million.
What is it?
What is it? It was $64 million. It's like a 4-year, $64 million contract.
Oh, okay. So if I would have said at least 20, that would have been fine, right? Is like, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's where I was. All right.
Is that what you meant to say?
Yeah, I probably meant to say that, but it's fine. I'll take the L. That's what I meant, like as in it would be up to 20 million, but I didn't. That's,
well, up to 20 million would mean a cap on 20 million, right?
Yeah, I probably would have meant. Also, you know what? Now I think about it, I thought it was going to be a short-term contract. So no. So yes, I was just wrong. I'm just talking in circles.
Hey, I'm just reading off the prompter.
Hey, okay. Yeah, I'm burgundy here. Yeah, go yourself, Minneapolis.
There is a page 2.
No! Here's page 2 for Declan.
I told you
and it's the worst. It's the worst of anyone.
Okay, God, dude.
These next 10 predictions are all wrong. So I'm going to spare you 10 buzzers. Okay.
Thanks, pal.
Alex Madison will score a touchdown before Dalvin Cook.
Touchdown toss, though.
countered.
Michael Pierce will be inactive week 1 of the NFL season.
Oh, no.
You said Joe Burrow will not start week 1 for the Bengals. You said Hunter will sack Burrow on the first pass attempt by the Bengals. You said the Vikings would beat the Bengals by at least 10 points because you don't take the Bengals seriously.
Yeah.
You said Chris Herndon will catch a touchdown against the Bengals. You said there will be a credible report linking the Vikings to at least one of these backup options, Flacco, Locke, or Hoyer by week 1. There really wasn't. You said Cousins will not start week 1 for the Vikings. C.J. Ham will catch the first Vikings touchdown this year, and the Vikings will have 7 cornerbacks on the 53-man roster in week 1. They have 6.
Oh.
There is no page 3.
Wow.
Lucky for you. Somehow Declan emerges from the carnage, clinging to a completion percentage lead, 36% and 3 touchdowns on the year. Judd, 35% will get you that 1 touchdown. I'm at 31% and 5 touchdowns, and the listeners are at 30% and 3 touchdowns.
This is a whole lot of ugly right now.
That's awesome.
I think we had an original write down one time that looked just like this, basically.
Damn.
Dude,
the batting averages were just all grouped up and horrible.
Is listener Sean still there? Has he passed out yet?
I feel bad for Sean. Sean,
Sorry,
I told you
dude.
5 to 10 minutes. We're at the we're at, like the 18-minute mark.
Sean, you
got to
redeem the listeners, man. You got to bring the pressure's on.
I hope I can.
All right, we're not like getting you fired from a job by keeping you this long, are we? Are we good?
I'm still on my lunch break. I had to take an early lunch break, but I still got a little bit of time.
Good, because there is a page 3 for Declan. We're just going to get to it real quick here. All these, no, I'm just kidding, Declan.
That's not funny.
So let's get to the predictions here. The way this works is we're going to make 3 trips around the room. We'll start with Sean. He'll take the first snap, so to speak. Then over to Judd, Declan, me. They must be football related or about the show, and they must be quantifiable. And these predictions are going to be powered in part by our friends at the Minnesota Lottery. They've got 2 awesome Vikings scratch game tickets. One is a $5 ticket that can win you up to $100,000. Then the $2 ticket up to $15,000. Just say, I'm in to Viking scratch games with the Minnesota Lottery. All right, Sean.
Write that down.
You're under center.
All right, so my first one is probably my easiest one, but write that down. KJ Osborne will score his first NFL touchdown this week against the Cardinals.
Yeah, Kirk seems to like him. 9 targets in that first game.
Yeah.
He's getting some opportunities. Feel like he trusts him.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that happening.
I like it.
Judd?
All right, I'm going to put the pressure on the Vikings defense. The Vikings will give up fewer than 100 yards rushing to the Cardinals on Sunday. The Vikings will give up fewer than 100 rushing yards. So I'm talking about the entire team to Arizona Sunday.
Okay. Kyler Murray might flirt with a hundo.
I know.
If Vikings aren't careful.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
All right, Declan, your first prediction.
I'll start with this one. Kyler Murray will account for 3 touchdowns and 230 yards against the Vikings in this game. He will account for 3 touchdowns and 230 yards.
Okay. I'm gonna step in and say at least. I don't want you to get screwed here.
Thank you.
At least.
Yes.
No,
I don't want it to be 240 and then
That's
have to
great.
have
I'm
that
glad we're all
conversation
helping
next
each
week.
other now. I'm glad it's become a community of
it's-
enablers.
Just want to make sure.
I helped you with your touchdown case.
No, you
though,
did.
Gad.
You did.
You
And
piped down
and I
over
said
there.
your touchdown was a touchdown too. We
Yep.
scratched each
This
other's
doesn't
back.
have to be a game of gotcha all the time.
Backroom deal.
But sometimes
deal.
it
It's
does.
fine. It's just in progress. If somebody messes up, I like to have them punished.
Yep.
All right, write this down. So as of this morning, according to Action Network, 92% of the money on this game is on the Cardinals. So the betting public loves. I'm actually going to mute Sean real quick because I think we're getting some feedback. We'll get him back in a second. The betting public loves the Cardinals. So I'm going to say this: a 2-part parlay. The Vikings will cover the spread, and I just want to make sure. Let me check the ESPN.com. ESPN Vikings. I think it's 3 right now. So they're going to cover the spread.
Okay.
And the combination of Cardinals and Vikings score will be under 51. So a Vikings cover and the under is what I'm going for here. And the spread right now is 4.5 Cardinals, the consensus spread. So let's lock in at 4.5 Vikings cover the 4.5, and it'll be an under the 51 total in a parlay.
Okay, got it.
Write that down.
Write this down.
All right. Now we go back over to guest listener Sean.
All right, so I'm hoping for a bounce back from Breland this week. So write that down. He's going to have the highest PFF grade of the Vikings cornerbacks against the Cardinals.
Okay. Little bounce back there. Yeah, that was a really bad game. Like he was borderline unplayable.
Write this down.
at times
And
in the game.
do the Cardinals, do they go at Pat P or do they stay away from their former teammate? That's the other
I
question.
think they probably
have.
go at him.
I'm saying that could change the dynamic of the game as well.
Yeah. All right, Judd, your second prediction.
Aaron Rodgers will throw for 300 or more yards and at least 2 touchdowns on Monday against the Detroit Lions. So he'll rebound
I have a very
300
similar prediction.
or more yards and at least 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
So it's not a bunt. I mean, it's going to have to be a pretty damn good game, but still, I think he bounces back and the sabotage comes to an end after one game.
He's just in full RELAX mode this week, man. He was on McAfee yesterday for like 30 minutes, just preaching the.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
That hair, man. That hair he's got going is something.
It's gross. It's got to go.
I like it.
It's got to go.
I dig it.
It's greasy.
Declan, you should grow your hair like that until the Vikings win a playoff.
I had my hair like that like 5 years ago, but
It looks
no.
greasy though.
Yeah, no. I don't let the peasants touch this hair. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yep.
Your second
Best hair in
prediction.
the show. My second prediction, Dalvin Cook will rush for over 100 yards against the Cardinals. Dalvin Cook will rush for over 100 yards against the Cardinals.
Yeah. 61. He wasn't the most effective in the first game.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
All right. I don't know. I'll go with the Justin Jefferson prediction here. Justin Jefferson, write this down, will score a 30-yard touchdown or longer against the Cardinals. They're going to find him. I will find you, and I will kill you.
They're going to take you.
I have a particular set of skills where I can catch the football down the field.
Down the sideline, into the end zone.
Write that down.
Okay. Back over to Sean, your third and final prediction, sir.
All right, so back when I reached out to Declan to get on the show, it was before week 1. So my original prediction was going to be that Michael Pierce and Tomlinson were going to both exceed their career records for sacks. But then Michael Pierce decided to go out and do that in the first week. So I will change my prediction to write that down, that Pierce and Tomlinson will combine for 7 sacks or more by the end of the season, which would potentially give them both career highs in sacks.
All right. Here for it. Yeah, Pierce looked really good in the first week. One of the few silver linings. So Sean, tell us, when did you become a Vikings fan? What's your Vikings fan background, man?
Grown up a Vikings fan my whole life. Unfortunately, the first game I remember is the Falcons game, Gary Anderson miss.
Oh,
So that's my first memory that I can remember back to.
wow.
But my dad is a Vikings fan and just kind of born and raised.
That's a brutal way to start your Vikings. I don't really know. There's not that many great ways to start your Vikings fan career, though. Like,
How did you not bail after that one and say, I really like the New England Patriots. They seem to be good.
Well, I was only 9, so I guess I still had too much hope then.
Nice.
So.
Well, since you've got this gigantic, life-changing platform here on Purple Daily, is there anyone in your life you'd like to thank that brought you to this moment, sitting in your car on your lunch break?
I'd like to thank you guys for the show. I listen every day, so I really appreciate getting on for the first time. Hopefully do it again. Shout out to my dad. We watched a lot of Vikings games together. My wife for putting up with all the Vikings games and also listening to you guys when we're driving in the car. And then just a shout out to my cousin Greg, who also is a regular listener, and we talk Vikings football weekly. So
Awesome.
I appreciate being on the show.
Thank
Sean,
you.
great work. We'll definitely get you on again sometime. And thanks for coming on, dude.
Thanks, guys.
All right, that is guest listener predictor Sean.
I think his Breland highest PFF grade's a touchdown. I think that's specific enough. And he had such a brutal week 1.
I'm good with that.
I think I put touchdown in parentheses. I think that's a touchdown.
I agree with that.
Well, just handing them out now, huh? You're just handing out those touchdowns.
No,
now.
it is. I mean, I'm
kidding.
It'd be a huge bounce back. Judd, the gatekeeper over here, wants to play gotcha with every prediction.
Okay. I tweeted this during the game on Sunday, and I'm now going to commit it to the piece of paper on which I do the old school write that down predictions. The Vikings will bring in an offensive advisor at some point this season. So the Vikings are going to bring in an offensive advisor to help Clint Kubiak at some point this season.
Okay.
Much like they did with Tyson 2005 when
Maybe bring Norv. What's Norv doing?
Loney was.
I mean, Norv.
Yeah. I'm sure Zim would welcome Norv.
He'd
back.
love that. Yeah. God.
Hey, Norv, good to see you in the building.
All right, Declan, you're third and final.
All right.
prediction.
I'll come out swinging
Write
here.
this down.
The Vikings will fire one of the following by the bye week.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Yeah,
Oh,
lay it on
yeah,
us,
dude.
Dex.
All right.
Mike Zimmer, Rick Spielman, or Clint Kubiak will be fired. One of the following will be fired by the bye week.
Whoa.
So for that to happen, they would have to almost certainly start 0-4. 0-6.
I would say we were talking about it with Randy last night. If they start 0-6, someone's getting on
They're
the
not
chopping
starting-
block on the bye week.
But they get the Lions.
Agreed.
Like, that's starting
Agreed.
0-6.
But if
Right,
if
right, that's
if
why they
but
were
if
fired.
they lose those two games, the Lions and the Panthers, someone's getting their head chopped off.
So it's probably Kubiak, right?
It's probably Kubiak is the
I don't
easiest
think Zimmer or
scapegoat.
Spielman's going to be fired in season.
Really? If they're
necessarily.
if they're 0-6, they're not going to be 0-6. You guys
Okay.
are so negative all the time on this show. I don't know.
they're
I don't know
all-
how anyone even consumes us.
Well, I'm tuning out right now myself personally, and I'm on it. I don't think they were. I don't think they have a person to replace Zimmer. That's the problem. Like if there was a head coach in waiting, like if Stefanski was still here, I'd be like, yeah, they might make the change. But I think Clint Kubiak would get fired. I think
The
that's
Declan
part
Goff
of the
plan is if that happens and you're 0-6 and you fire Mike Zimmer, you give Andre Patterson the interim label and then you hire Kellen Moore in the offseason. That's my
I love
that's
how
my
you got
plan.
all figured out already.
You're
That's
all in
I
on
do.
Kellen Moore.
Yeah.
I
Kellen
am.
Moore and Drew Lock, the future of the Minnesota
Yes.
Vikings, according
Yes.
to
How about
Declan
the
Goff.
enemy?
That'd be
Bieniemy
great
might
too,
he
yeah.
might legitimately
Yeah,
be in the mix for that USC job.
I think he belongs in the pros.
Yeah, but until someone offers you $6 million a year to
I
coach
know.
college football.
I know. I'm just saying. I think he belongs in the pros.
Write that down.
All right, final prediction. I was gonna go with an Aaron Rodgers bounce back, but Judd already checked that box. So I'm gonna pivot here. I'm gonna just
Pivot?
pivot a little bit.
Nice.
Pivot. All right, the Vikings only ran 8 play actions in week 1, which is egregious. It's their number one offensive weapon. It's the thing Kirk Cousins is best at.
Kubiak might be fired.
How do you throw 49 passes and run only 8
Right.
play actions? Well, they're in 3rd and 20 all the time. Well, that's a little bit of an over-exaggeration, okay? Like, you couldn't find 5 or 6 extra play actions. So the Vikings will increase their play action output by at least 50%. I'm going to say, write this down, the Vikings will run at least 12 play actions against the Cardinals on Sunday, all right? So those are your write that down
Write that down.
predictions. It is Purple Positivity Wednesday on the show, which we're going to get to in a second. But nothing makes you feel happier than an ice cold glass of Surly Furious.
Oh, in fact-
is your dog? Is your dog Stella also?
Yeah, she's
you
in
should
the-
rename her to Surly. Quite
Yeah,
frankly,
she's in the background. Yeah.
sounds like she's named after a
very-
competitor.
Stella.
In fact, you know what? Last night, Purple After Dark got done. Stella and I sat down, a couple of Surly Furiouses to talk over the day and what we expect. She downed hers too quickly. I told her you got to slow it down.
Classic.
You got
Pace
a
yourself.
problem.
Yeah, don't
You
break
gotta
the
pace
seal either.
yourself like Sports Dad does. But yes, the weekend is coming, folks. It's Wednesday, and it's time to make your weekly stop at the liquor store and pick up your Surly. Now, there's Surlys across the board that are fantastic. As I've always said, the Furious is my personal favorite because why? Well, I'll tell you why. You do enough settling in life. You settle for Minnesota sports. You settle for Vikings defeats. But when you crack open a Surly Furious, you enjoy the IPA that revolutionized Minnesota craft beer. Don't settle. Get Surly. There's no bad time to get Surly.
Boys, let's go around the room here. Even though it's been a debacle and just a debaucherous first week for the Vikings, there is another game. It's a winnable game. They're not favored, but they do have a chance to bounce back and get back to 500. So, Purple Positivity Wednesday. Judge Zolgad, why don't you start us off? What's a positive thing you can say about the Vikings?
There is no way on God's green earth that they can commit as many stupid penalties as they did on Sunday in the next game against the Cardinals. They will clean up because they've traditionally not been a highly penalized team with Mike as coach. And when you have that many just stupid false starts and mistakes, and I don't know, you don't look prepared. Ordinarily, the focus on practice in the following week after that game is to focus on cleaning things up and not taking penalties. So I am fairly certain that what happened Sunday did not start a trend, and the Vikings will have a pretty clean game. They still might lose, but they'll have a clean game on Sunday against the Cardinals.
I'll go next here. I think I wasn't impressed at all with the run defense or really many things at all defensively in that game. But there were enough flashes. Michael Pierce, Daniil Hunter got to the quarterback. Stephen Weatherly was good in the run-stopping game. I guess despite the defense not living up to expectations in week 1, I don't think that was a realistic expectation to begin with. Like that's a bunch of guys who've never played together, who've been out for a year. So I think they're going to need a month to ramp up. And my purple positivity point here is it's nice to have some professionals along the defensive line, some actual starting and Pro Bowl caliber players that you can trust. If this was the same collection as last year, you'd be like, oh my God, Joe Mixon for $150 this week. Who's going to do it next week?
Yep.
I think it's going to get better. And the question is, as they ramp up and try to gel over the next month, can they win enough games to stay relevant? Like, it's kind of a race to just not, after losing in week 1 to the Bengals and you got this tough schedule, you don't have a luxury to be able to lose like 2 or 3 more games here in the next 3 to 4 weeks. Like, you need to win and stay relevant. Oh, the defense finally gelled in mid-October and you're 2-5. Like, that can't happen. But I have more #faith in this defense coming together because of the defensive front and Hunter and Pierce and Tomlinson, Everson Griffin, Weatherly. Like, there's enough professionals and good players here that make me feel pretty good still about the defensive front.
Agreed.
I like it. My purple positivity is the wealth is being spread about. Last week against the Bengals, 9 different players caught a pass for the Vikings. KJ Osborne solidified that wide receiver 3 spot, 7 catches for 76 yards. Yes, obviously it'd be nice to get Justin Jefferson a couple more targets and take more chances down the field, but I liked the wealth being spread around. I know Adam Thielen's clearly always going to be his favorite guy, but I love that they ran a bunch of 4 wide receiver sets, 9 plays of 4 wide receiver sets last week. They ran 10 all of last season in 2020. Some of that had to do with the penalties, but I like that the wealth's being spread out. I like that they're running more 3 wide receiver sets. As much as I know Herb Smith's injury probably derails this, but 2 tight end set, I formation, just kind of boring, bland football. I like that we're going to see more 3 and 4 wide receiver sets. I think that's a good sign, and it does carry over against the Cardinals.
I'm going to jump in here with another one here because I'm feeling extra positive and drinking some Vikings Kool-Aid. I know we kind of mock and made fun of, hey, they're in first place. It's like you can't feel too good about what happened in week 1. But when you look around the division, the Lions are the Lions. The Bears, even though they have a potentially like generationally talented quarterback in the wings, are still running Andy Dalton out there for the foreseeable future and can't figure it out. And people hate Matt Nagy, and it's a weird vibe in Chicago. And the Packers just seem discombobulated, and Aaron Rodgers just seems totally disconnected from football and reality. So the division might only take 9 wins to win it. I guess we'll see.
Can I give you guys a Zim quote from his press conference this morning that regards Garrett Bradbury and touches on an issue we have not broached because we wouldn't know this, and for Mike to reveal it is interesting. Zimmer, according to our guy Kramer from the Star Tribune, still sees a chance to be pretty good, but noted identifying fronts on offense was an issue in the opener. That mostly falls on center Garrett Bradbury, but O-line communication needs improvement overall. The Cardinals move their front around a lot, so you have to ID it. Okay, let me understand this, and if I'm wrong, you guys tell me. We're talking about a first-round center who had trouble stopping guys and blocking them, which is the thing that we can see. And now the head coach is telling us that when it comes to identifying, which means the football smarts part, which, by the way, is difficult to do, but you have to do it. So to quote Office Space, what would you say you do here?
I feel like that's not very positive, Judd.
Yeah,
I feel like
you
that
derailed purple positivity
really fit
kind
the
of right
purple
now.
Positivity umbrella. How can you spin that into a positive for the Vikings, Judd?
Mason Cole in a revenge game against the Cardinals comes off the bench and identifies every front he sees and he still
blindfolded. He's like Jean-Claude Van Damme in Bloodsport.
And he still gives up sacks, but man, he takes control of the line. Mason Storm. We're gonna rename him right now. Mason Storm.
The storm is coming.
Is coming on Sunday.
A storm is coming.
Amazing. All right, that's your purple positivity. All right, speaking of the train wreck NFC North, we gave you some Packer vent line yesterday. We're not stopping there. Let's go to the Windy City and our friends on the Score and ESPN 1000 in Chicago. This is Bears Vent Line on Purple Daily.
Set, go.
When does the Matt Nagy thing end? Week 3 of year 5? This guy's a fraud. There's nothing there. There's no development from anybody. Just a horrible situation.
Yeah. Tough
Darn.
to disagree.
Yeah, man.
No.
Woof.
Let's hear what Pete and Edison Park has some tips.
How much more time do we give these guys to get it right? Because these guys keep hitting on all cylinders and keep hitting on these draft picks and keeping them with them for the long term, but we seem to keep missing. I'm not sure I understand why.
Oh man, it is fun sometimes to just soak in the misery of
absolutely
the opposing fan bases.
This division, God help it.
Why is it that the Chicago Bears organization continues to give these guys the time to correct the mistakes they made? Ryan Pace single-handedly has destroyed the entire roster of this team. Granted, I'll give him some credit. He got a couple of picks in late rounds. He made some good picks in the later rounds. But he is constantly known, since he came to the Bears, to draft up constantly for first and second round picks and give draft capital away. This is the problem. We have no depth.
I am slightly disappointed in that last one because it is the only sober voice I have heard on Packers/Bears vent line this week.
Yeah, he was way too level-headed, talking about like draft strategy and
that's
depth
not what
and
we
things.
do here.
No, man, we need like a slurring guy in a Green Bay garage throwing his 1973 radio off the wall. That's what we need.
I like that guy.
I almost do my radio.
I gotta say, no, he's like, I got a stereo.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay, dude.
Good talk.
Welcome to 1976.
Well, if you're the Bears and you're looking to protect your, I don't know, your employees, your young quarterback. If you're the Vikings looking to protect Kirk Cousins, I don't think Federated can help you with that. But if you're a business owner looking to protect your business, that's where they come in with 100+ years of expertise and tools and resources. Find out about how you can protect your bottom line with Federated Insurance and federatedinsurance.com, where it's our business to protect yours. All right, boys. Thursday tomorrow, I'm going to get you guys a random Viking of the week, and we'll start looking ahead more to the Cardinals-Vikings game.
I won't have a child with me. Games. I can participate this time, too, so that'll be fun.
Actually,
I'm really upset that Bernard Berrien was the guy, because I think I would have got it.
What we should have done,
right in my wheelhouse.
We should have given you a chance with the same clues that Judd had.
Yeah,
but I just felt like we had already been doing a show for 40 minutes. And
no, it's for sure. Yeah, I was up with him for 3 hours. It was fine. Yeah, it was awesome.
Okay.
Yeah,
we'll make it happen.
Tough kid.
Oh. Really good birth control. Really good birth control.
So, all right, that's a wrap. Actually, you know what? Before we go, I need one more. I need one more little dose of oldie.
Watch this Jamar Chase go to work. He's a router. I'm Rashad Breeland. Watch this double move right here. Bam, 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 bam. And ball's right there. Right there. Tiny. Beautiful stuff.
God. Brian Baldinger doesn't just like football, he loves football.